Welcome to this course on foreign policy, formulation, and diplomacy. Foreign policy and diplomacy are fundamental aspects of international relations. They determine how states interact with one another, how they pursue their interests abroad, and how conflicts are either prevented or resolved. In this first module, we will focus on the nature, purposes, aims, determinants, and decision-making processes of foreign policy, as well as the different theories and categories that scholars and practitioners employ to understand it. 1. Nature of foreign policy as an activity. Foreign policy can be described as the sum of strategies and actions chosen by a state to protect and promote its interests in the international system. Unlike domestic policy, which governs internal affairs, foreign policy is directed outward, toward other states, international organizations, and non-state actors. It is both an activity and a process. As an activity, foreign policy includes negotiation, alliance building, trade relations, conflict management, and cultural exchange. As a process, it involves formulating, implementing, and reviewing strategies. Foreign policy reflects the balance between national interest, available resources, and the constraints of the international environment. 2. Purposes and aims of foreign policy. The primary purposes of foreign policy can be summarized in several points. Security, protecting the territorial integrity and sovereignty of the state. Economic prosperity, promoting trade, investment, and access to resources. Prestige and influence, projecting a positive image and gaining respect internationally. Values and ideology, promoting cultural, political, or ideological values abroad. Global cooperation, engaging in partnerships on issues such as climate change, terrorism, or pandemics. Every state, regardless of size or power, engages in foreign policy to safeguard its national survival and enhance its position in the world. 3. Determinants of foreign policy. Foreign policy does not develop in isolation. It is shaped by a wide range of determinants, both internal and external. Internal determinants include geography and natural resources, national capacity, military, economic, and technological, political structure and leadership style, public opinion and national identity. External determinants include the international system and distribution of power, relations with neighboring states, global norms, institutions, and treaties. Threats, opportunities, and crises abroad. For example, a resource-rich country may prioritize resource diplomacy, while a small island nation may focus on climate diplomacy. 4. Internal and external pressures. Policymakers often face pressures that influence foreign policy choices. Internal pressures may come from interest groups, political parties, the media, and the general public. For instance, domestic business groups may lobby for favorable trade agreements. External pressures stem from the behavior of other states, alliances, global institutions, and unpredictable crises such as wars or pandemics. Balancing these pressures is one of the greatest challenges of foreign policy formulation. 5. Decision-making in foreign policy. Foreign policy decision-making involves both rational planning and political bargaining. Leaders must gather intelligence, weigh options, anticipate consequences, and consider risks. Key actors include heads of state or government, ministers of foreign affairs, legislatures, depending on constitutional systems, bureaucratic agencies and advisors. Decision-making can be centralized, as in authoritarian regimes, or decentralized, as in democracies where multiple institutions play a role. Theories such as the rational actor model, the bureaucratic politics model, and the organizational process model are often used to explain how decisions are reached. 6. Theories and categories of foreign policy. Several theoretical perspectives help us analyze foreign policy. Realism focuses on power and national interest, emphasizing security and survival. Liberalism highlights cooperation, institutions, and interdependence. Constructivism emphasizes ideas, norms, and identities. Marxism explains foreign policy through economic structures and global class relations. Foreign policies can also be categorized as isolationist, expansionist, status quo-oriented, or reformist, depending on the goals and outlook of a state. Conclusion of Module 1. In this first module, we have explored the nature, purposes, determinants, and decision-making processes of foreign policy, as well as the theories and categories used to analyze it. These foundations are crucial to understanding why states behave as they do on the international stage. In the next module, we will shift our attention to diplomacy, examining its meaning, historical development, tasks, and rules, as well as its contribution to peaceful international relations.